In the last lecture, you learned the 8th step to set up your first profitable AdWords campaign, and that was to choose profitable keywords, really doing some keyword research and also understanding how these match types work and how you really signal inside the campaign setup about the type of match and that you want your ads really to show up for when people type that into the search engines. All right, now in this lecture, we're moving on and we're covering step number 9. Here, I just want to touch on briefly some of the advanced campaign settings, some of the features within AdWords that you can also use. So what we want to do is come back into AdWords here. And now that my campaign is set up, you're going to notice a couple of things here. And this is maybe the first point that we want to cover in terms of bids. Before, I told you that you didn't really need to know exactly the bid, because here in AdWords, they will show you the bids that you need to use for each keyword. So here I can see that I'm below the first page bid. So what I need to do is really update my bid to the suggested bid here. So 141. And now I will be eligible for my ad to show in there. And I really want to go and do that for the rest of the ads as well, and really adjust my bids there to the minimum that I really need to put them on. So once you do that, then your ads will really be showing, and you can really keep an eye on their progress here, how many clicks you're getting, impressions, click-through rates, the average cost position. All of this information will start to populate once your ads are live and up and running and really working. If at any stage you want to pause your ads, it's very easy to do. You can click here and you can just click on pause, and that pauses all of your ads, or you can do it on an individual basis as well. So I'm just going to deselect all of those. You can turn on and off any of the ads if some are performing well, some are not performing. If you're not quite ready to move forward, then you can also come back here if you want to come back into your campaign, and if you want to simply remove all of these ads, you can do that as well to make sure that you're not being charged if you don't want to move forward. So that is really how you get your AdWords campaign set up and running. We've covered the first 9 steps, but there are a couple of other things that I wanted just to touch on before we wrap up. And the first one is negative keywords. This is something we didn't really cover in the last lecture, but I wanted to cover it in this lecture because you can really set it up here a lot easier. And what you want to do is add negative keywords to the negative keywords tab. Essentially what you're doing here is you're saying to Google, I don't want my ad to show up when somebody types something like this into Google, like free, cheap, torrent, YouTube. So for example, for my ads, if somebody was to type in digital marketing course, torrent, well, my ad would show up unless I put in these negative keywords. And if somebody is typing in digital marketing course torrent, they're not interested in buying my course. They just want to get a course for free. So obviously I do not want to show my ad to those people because they're not interested in buying. They have they just want to get the torrents, or anybody, if they're looking for a free digital marketing course, I don't want my ad to show up because once again, they're probably not interested in purchasing, which is really what I'm spending money to get people to buy. So what you can do is come into AdWords, or to come into your campaign, and under keywords, you'll see the negative keywords tab here. You can add these negative keywords at a campaign level. So all of the ads within your campaign, this will be applied to. So I'm just going to add the keywords in here. Simply torrent, free, maybe even cheap. What else did I include here as some examples? YouTube. So I can just add those negative keywords in, and they will really stop my ads from being shown. So once again, this is another way that you can target your ad even further, because you're not showing your ads to these particular people. And that is something that you might forget to do, but it can save you a lot of money. And also, if you notice over time that your ads are showing for particular terms, You can add that in as a negative keyword. If, for example, you are a dog walking service and you don't do dog grooming, well, then you can put in grooming here and your ads won't show. So if there are particular services that you do not offer that are maybe competitors or other people offer, or that are related to your term, you can put them in here so they really don't show up. Okay, so that is the first kind of advanced campaign setting. Negative keywords, I really encourage you to add those in, and I've given you a couple of examples here. Plus, add on top of that, any services you don't offer but are regularly offered in your industry. Now, the second, this is more of a feature of AdWords. It's really called ad extensions, but I just wanted to touch on it because this can be extremely relevant to a lot of people on AdWords. You can really create more clicks to your ad and increase its prominence in the search results by using ad extensions. They enhance your ad with really site link, call links, locations, and more. And I put in a little link to it here on the AdWords help. And if we come down, they actually have some good examples here. So you might have seen ads like this in the search results before. Download the app here, call right now. This is to a local company. You can see here that there is an address linked up. You can see here that there are links to different pages. You can see that there's review extensions where somebody puts in a particular review here. And further down, there's lots of different consumer ratings. Even if we come into maybe the one that I was looking at, let's see if there's any ad extensions here. There's reviews, the location, the address is there. So you can see that really does pop out. Those stars really do pop out. And so you can really add those to your campaign as well. You'll see it over here, ad extensions. And you can really add them in depending on what type of ad extension that you want. But it can really increase the prominence of your ads and get more clicks. And the great thing as well is that there is no additional cost for this. If somebody clicks on the reviews, or somebody clicks on, say, your location, it's just counted as a click and you're essentially paying a cost per click. But it really gives the searcher more options, and they can really get to where they want to go faster than just, say, going to your landing page. They can go to wherever you want them to go. So that is ad extensions. You probably have seen that in the search results. You might have been wondering about it, and they're very easy to add in, and there is a huge amount of options for them as well. Now the final, I guess this is more like a type of AdWords campaign you can set up, but you might have heard of it as well, remarketing. This really is great to show ads to people who have visited your website or used your app. And I've linked up again a little bit of extra information on this. So really for remarketing, you can install a little tracker on your website, and then around the internet on display sites within Google's display network, so various websites, partner websites of Google, you can display your ads. And this can be a very effective strategy because they've already come to your website, but they may not have made a purchase. And so you can put your ads in front of those people again. Now, this is quite an effective strategy, and it could be a good one for me to use maybe further down the line, because I will have maybe people coming to my course landing page. They mightn't have purchased, and so I can maybe remarket an ad to them with a discount so that they can have that incentive to really enroll. So those are just a couple of the other important things and capabilities and functions within AdWords. There's a lot more in there as well, but I just wanted to give you a highlight of some of them. And I think in terms of making profitable campaigns, the negative keywords is the key takeaway there. You should really add those in. All right, so that was step number 9. The final step, as always, is to measure and optimize. And I'll see you in the next lecture to recap on